bought 2 books. And I left her in the room. My husband was downstairs. I left her in the room.
No, sugar, they brought you to pimp you.
Hi. So Chioma embarks on an outreach accompanied by Caroline and her friend. They go to this community in Lagos State where they attend to people, women, children. They give women money for for business and attend to children, give children gift packs and all. So Chioma met up with this elderly woman. The woman tells her that she waited for her for a while because it's like Chioma visited earlier, promised to help sort a child's bill. So the woman informed Chioma that the child passed. Chioma is so broken. And then we have Laura. Laura sits with her husband to tell her husband about what went down in the group chat and how she plans to confront the ladies. Well, her husband is on her side. He believes her side of the story. And of course, trust Laura. There is no gist without Laura sprinkling Caroline's divorce in the mix. She never fails to do that. That's like a must.
She used to be married with 3 kids, you know.
Wow, she has 3 kids?
Yeah, somebody that's that grown. Somebody that knows all the divorce.
And so that is that for their gist.
Caroline is divorced. Of course, you want other people to be divorced. It's a thing now. You think she's happy being single.
So that's Laura for you. In the end, she leaves the house. And then Yabo, of course, sends for the ladies. She invites the ladies over to sort whatever issues they have. Based on what happened in the WhatsApp group. You can check my page for what happened last week. That's episode 7. The ladies arrive. We have Laura, Chioma, of course, Yabo is there, and then Tiana. They all look glamorous. They all look beautiful. You would think these ladies don't have drama. Wait until fight starts, and before we know it, there is this talk, the whole talk about pimping. Of course, Caroline is insisting you were pimped, and Laura explains what happened. Caroline would not hear any of that. Caroline insisted that Laura was pimped, and of course, a fight broke. Yeah, Laura is best at mentioning people's husbands, but she doesn't want anyone to mention her husband. Who is her husband that he will not be mentioned? Or she thinks people don't love their own husband, only her gay husband. That's nonsense in my opinion. The truth is, this drama was actually avoidable because, in my opinion, since Laura did not speak at the dining table, she should have let it go. She should have just let it go. She didn't need to bring it up again in the WhatsApp group. That was her being troublesome, and that was her being very naughty. And in my opinion, that didn't matter at the point. Or maybe she would have waited to meet the girls one-on-one, because sometimes you see text message, it gets, it's better when you're with the person, you tell the person what you feel and how you feel. That's a lot better than dropping any nasty text. So the whole thing escalated real quick. So Laura is actually taken out, to be pacified, and then Yabo brings up the issue of late coming, and Chioma is like, no, that she didn't like the way they spoke to her the last time, that she will always be late, and that the thing is, whenever they don't see her, they should go on with whatever activities they have, that maybe if they do it constantly, if she comes to the event and realizes that the event is over, maybe her brain will tell her to start coming early, which to me is like borderline silly talk, although that was my opinion last week. If you listen to my review for last week, I mentioned that I feel like they are giving Chioma and Caroline so much attention. You see how to handle people like Chioma and Caroline. When you invite them for an event, be very clear about the time, except it's production that asks them to wait or whatever, and the production should explain. If you wait for 30 minutes, they don't come, go on with the activity. If when they come and the food is finished, the drinks, there are no drinks, it's even better. Well, let's go upstairs, we are doing karaoke now. Forget about, maybe on their own, they will ask themselves, look at, we came for this event. And when they come, don't give them special attention. Don't start giving them, TED talk on oh, why are you late? You shouldn't be late. We have been waiting. No, it's not necessary. That's you. When you give them, you're making them feel very important. That's not how you handle people like Chioma and Caroline that enjoy coming late, that love to be seen as the main character. No. So another thing I want to talk about is Laura. Laura enjoys shaming Caroline like it's something she has done in almost every episode. Each time she has an issue with Caroline, she has a way of bringing in Caroline's ex-marriage. She just has a way of bringing up things, and which, in my opinion, is way out of line. Because one thing about life, you never can tell. Laura thinks she has a happy marriage. Obona can wake up tomorrow and say he doesn't want to be married to her again. What is she going to do? Is she going to put a gun on his head and say, okay, you must marry me? Look at what happened to Blossom and Red, his wife. She been at Blossom carry bag saying no, they marry again. So you can, that's why, in my opinion, the fact that you're happily married, live in the moment. You don't need to rub it on people's faces. Like Caroline is divorced. Nobody gets married with a plan of being there. And saying Caroline is misery loves company. How would you say that? How would you say that? That was like an unkind thing to say. And I really do hope Laura apologized to Caroline, because I don't think it's fair that Laura has a way of, shaming, because it's issues like this that make women stay in very bad marriages until they get killed, because some of them can't deal. It's not everybody that can deal with the stigma. It's not everybody that is emotionally strong, to handle constant insult, shaming, always reminding her that she's a failure because her marriage didn't last. You don't know her story. You don't know what happened. You don't know why she left. I mean, for her to leave a billionaire, it's not a joke. It shows that whatever happened was beyond her control. So that is that. And then I must commend Obona, that's Laura's husband, quite understanding from what we saw. Like, he's this kind of G. He believes whatever his wife tells him, which I found pretty cute. Then Tony, I actually liked what Tony did today. Tony was neutral. She spoke to Laura, even though Laura was offended at the point when they were by the elevator. Laura was like, you did not defend me, you're my friend, which in my opinion is BS. Like, do you expect Tony at her big age to come and fight for you? On top with Tony, has she fought for her own self? No, friendship. I thought Laura would have learned a thing or two from Caroline, who fights her battles alone. She doesn't need backup. Like, she does her own thing alone, which in my opinion is how it should be. You don't expect your friends to come and start carrying you. Why would they fight for you when you never mind your business? Laura is, I don't know. I initially thought maybe Laura has this personality, this ambivert personality, where she finds it difficult warming up to people. But I mean, they practically shot this thing for weeks, months. She should have warmed up to the ladies, but she's just a nasty person. She's really a nasty person. Even the fact that she would say, Mariam, your dinner was boring. Like, her fashion show was even more boring. Like, boring. It was almost empty. Those whoever I feel is even more of production that were at that venue. Her fashion show was boring. So why would she say Mariam's event was in my opinion, Mariam's event was very good. She made beautiful plans for them. And then saying, oh, the food said Laura is really a nasty person. We can't take that away from her. And in my opinion, it's something she needs to work on, because you don't just say nonsense about people and then you expect them to be nice to you, expect them to be cool. And then when you throw a jab at somebody, the person can decide to go lower. See, this gutter is enough to contain so many people. So there is no need trying to act like, oh, I didn't say this. Like Tony was like, no, what Caroline went, Tony was trying to say that Caroline went out of place, like she overdid. But in my opinion, she didn't. And if you ask me, I think this cast members got different memos for this show. Laura came with with most of her drama already planned in her head. Iyaba and Mariam came to have a good time, obviously from the way they are behaving, good vibes. Surprisingly, I didn't even expect them to be the like relaxed one. Caroline came to find business opportunities. And Tony came to sell her market, because every 3 minutes she's reminding you that she's king of fashion. And Joma came to be a diva, a proper diva, dress well, dressed like a fairy tale princess, sit classy and not ready to roll in the mud and all that. But so far, I'll say those that have so I'll say the casts, the housewives that have impressed me are Iyabo. She's like my main woman. I love her. She's very calm. Mariam, I love Mariam too. I think she's a very peaceful and warm person See, Toyin is giving me two-faced vibes, so I'm still watching her closely. I don't really get her, but she and Laura, I'll say they're a match. Laura is full of negativity. She's an empty barrel. She's so classless. I don't want her in the next season. Of course, I know she won't even sign up for the next season. Then Chioma, I love Chioma too, even though sometimes she gets on my nerves with her lateness and her not accepting that she's wrong for coming late and all that. And Caroline, I love Caroline. I love her kind of person. She's calm and classy. Like after the whole fight, Laura had pulled off her earrings, her jacket, her wig, but Caroline was still in her shoes, has goggled, like she was just perfect. Like, oh my god. So that's all for episode 8. So let's see what happens in the next episode that will come up exactly a week today. So tell me, what do you think about today's episode? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comment section.